welcome back. In today's video, we will cover the merge sort. So what is a merge sort basically? Before understanding the merge sort, we have to understand a technique or a algorithmic way to solve the problem known as divide and conquer. Now divide and conquer is a strategy. So how the divide and conquer works? Because the merge sort actually works on the principles of divide and conquer only. So first we will try to understand the divide and conquer. It is a recursive in structure. The first we have three steps. One is divide, then we conquer, and then we combine. See, divide means whenever you have a very large problem, you can divide the problem into the sub problems that are similar in the nature but of the smaller size. See, if you cannot solve a bigger problem, the divide says divide the bigger problem into the sub problem that are of the similar nature. The problem will remain same, but the size will be smaller now. So that is the step of the division. So the basic idea is, we will suppose the problem is a hard problem, we will keep dividing the problem until the problem is easy now. Once the problem is easy, we can solve it directly. I am repeating again, divide and conquer works in this particular way. It says, suppose the problem is a very big problem or a problem is a hard problem. So instead of solving it directly, we keep on dividing the problem until the problem becomes an easy problem. Once the problem is an easy problem, we can solve it directly. So first step is a divide. Divide means whenever the problem is a very big problem or a large problem, we divide that large or the big problem into the sub problems that are similar to the original problem but smaller in size. Now second step is conquer. Now whatever the sub problems we have, the sub problems are solved now. The sub problems are solved them recursively. We will solve it recursively, and then if they are small enough, that is easy problem, just solve them in a straightforward manner. Conquer means you have to solve that smaller problems now. Whatever the big problem you have to conquer them. That is, you will solve those problems. Now how to solve? You can solve it recursively, or if the problem is a very small problem now, it is just a very small problem, in that case you can solve it directly in the straightforward manner. Now whatever the third step is a combine, the solutions to create a solution to the original problem. So whatever the small solutions you have for the small problem, just try to combine all the solution to create a solution for the bigger problem or the original problem. So in this case, the divide and conquer work in this particular way. Three steps are there: divide, conquer, and then combine. Okay. Now come to an example, that is a merge sort that works on a divide and conquer approach only. It is a sorting problem. The problem basically says sort a sequence of n elements into a non-decreasing order. So I have a sequence of n elements. The basic purpose of this merge sort is to sort those sequence of n elements into a non-decreasing order, or basically an increasing order. Now it has three steps. First is a divide. Divide the n element sequence to be sorted into the subsequence of n by 2 elements each. So what we will do is, I will divide whatever the n elements we have, we will divide into two subsequences, like a small orders, or into two parts. It will have n by 2 element and n by 2 element, half. Then we have the conquer. Now whatever the smaller problems we have, we will again try to sort those subsequences recursively using merge sort. So whatever the smaller array we have, again we will apply the technique of the merge sort on the smaller array, like half array, and again whatever the second half we have. So the conquer purpose works basically sort the subsequences recursively using merge sort. Okay. Third is combine whatever the two sorted subsequences you have, since you have already sorted those subsequences using the merge sort only, and then you will combine. So idea is, what it says is, firstly you have a size of n array, you will divide into two half, that is n by 2 element and n by 2 element. Now whatever the n by 2 element you have to again apply the merge sort. So how you can apply the merge sort? Again you will divide n by 2, that would be n by 4 and n by 4. Again they will be divided until you have one element each. So as starting of an array of n elements, I will keep dividing that particular thing into the problem become an easy problem. So what is an easy and hard problem, I will also explain here. Suppose you have an array of n elements. Suppose you have a single array of n elements to sort. Is it hard, or you have n arrays of one element? Is it hard? Please let me know. which one is a harder problem to understand. Like which one of these is a harder problem to solve. So obviously whenever you have an array of n elements, a single array of n element would be going to be the harder problem to solve. So what the merge sort says, whenever the problem is hard, I will keep on dividing the problem until the problem become an easy problem. What will happen here is, like, you have an array of n element, I will keep on dividing by 2 by 2, I will keep on dividing n by 2, n by 2, n by 2 until we have n arrays of one element each. Now a single an array with one element is obviously sorted because we have only one element in that list, and then you have to just combine to get the answer. So that is all about this sorting technique. How it solved is, so that is the basic idea, right? So that is all about the merge sort basics. Like, we will see again how divide, conquer and combine combine statements work. But one thing you note it down, in the merge sort, the idea is, whenever the problem is a hard problem, means you have an array of n element, a single array of n element, I will keep dividing that array until we have n arrays of one element each. Once we have able to achieve that, this means an array with only one element is almost already sorted. We do not have to sort it further. So we'll take an example now. Suppose this is the original sequence I have. I will divide into two halves. Okay, I've divided into two halves. Then again I will divide into two halves. Now see here, 18 and 26, I will divide into two halves. See, can I see 18 is sorted because there is, in this array, in this particular array, I have only one element. So I can add it to the sorted sequence? Yes. Okay, I added it to the sorted sequence. Then 26 again, can I add? Okay, now what we have to do is, like, I will combine. The combine is a merging algorithm. Merging algorithm does basically what? Whenever you have two sorted arrays, they can be merged together to create a bigger sorted array. Okay, so it will be combined. Okay, now I will take the next half, 32 and 6. 32 will be added to the sorted sequence, and the 6 will be added to the sorted sequence. Then I will combine, and then 32. Now I have two sorted arrays, one array with 18 and 26 and the second array with 6 and 32. Since they are two sorted arrays, I can combine and merge them to create a bigger sorted array. See here. So from these two sorted arrays, 18, 26 and 6 and 32, I merge these sorted arrays to create a bigger sorted array. Okay. Now again I will do the second half of the array. So 43 will be added to the sorted sequence. 15 will be added to the sorted sequence. Again, see, we have two sorted arrays. 43 is a different array, 15 is a different array. Since they are sorted, I can merge them to create a bigger sorted array. 9 and 1, so again 9, and it will go as a 1. 9 will be added, 1 will be also be added, and now they will merge together. Okay, now this, I have now two sorted arrays. 15 and 42 is a sorted array, 1 and 9 is a sorted array. I will merge them to create a bigger sorted array. You can see here, I have this sorted array. See, this is like a combine step. I have this sorted array and this sorted array. I will just use a merging algorithm so that I can merge them together. How merging algorithm works, we will see in the later stage. So that is all about how the merge sort actually works. We have, this is a divide step. We keep on dividing the problem until the problem is easy, and then we solve the smaller problems, and then we will keep combining the results to get a final bigger sorted array. In this way, the merge sort works. Now we'll see one thing more. So this is an example of the merge sort. So basically, if we can solve this thing into this particular way, I have this unsorted array. I have divided in two halves, then I keep on dividing it into two halves, two halves, two halves, until the see I have in starting an array of n element, a single array of n element. Now I have n arrays of one element each. That is the idea how we can divide a large problem or a hard problem or the big problem into an easy problem. Now we will discuss the time complexity here before jumping to the algorithm. Now see here, if you consider this particular thing, this particular tree has how many levels, that you have to understand. First we will discuss the time complexity here. So given this, suppose it is a tree, how many levels we have, that we have to understand, and then for each level what is the time complexity for merging this answers to get a larger sorted array, like what is the cost of combining. Okay, so because we do not doing anything in the sorting in the conquer area, because see, and an array with only one element is by default sorted, so there is nothing about the conquer step. See here, divide, and then we are only doing the combine. So we'll take an example. Suppose I have n, I have divided into n by 2, n by 2. That is the thing. See, this is n size, and then I have divided n by 2, n by 2. Then again n by 4, n by 4. Similarly, it would be until 1. So that is the case. Like I have a starting n element, I keep dividing n by 2, n by 2, n by 2 until I got one element array. So how many levels we have? See here, it is just n by 2, n by 2. It is like a log n levels here. It has log n base 2 levels. Okay, so it has log n base 2 levels. Now what is the cost of each level? Suppose this is the last level. What should be the cost here? The cost would be like merging. See, merging two sorted arrays needs order of n time, given it has n by 2 and n by 2 element. I am repeating this statement again. Given the merging algorithm needs order of n time, where we have an array of n by 2, n by 2. Like what? It is just like how many number of elements we have, that would be the, if directly it should be the time complexity. See here, either at this level or at the last level, the number of elements are not going to be changed. Here you have a single array of n element. Here you have n arrays of one element each, but all these n arrays will be merged together to get the next step. So the complexity at this level would be n itself or not? In this level also n. You can even consider this n by 2, n by 2. If I do the merging, it would be n only. Now, so how many levels we have? Log n levels. And then how many merging time would be? Each level n. So I have log n levels, and each level I have a merging cost of order of n. The overall complexity would be, in the worst case, would be order of n and log n base 2. That is an idea about how we can find the time complexity of the merge sort. So we have n numbers, and number of element as n. We keep dividing this thing until I got one element each. In this case, we have log n levels. Like log n levels we have. Now every level the cost would be n for the merging, and eventually, since we have log n level, and for each level we are spending a cost of n, we will just try to find the overall complexity would be n into log n, that is order of n log n base 2. Now we have seen this example already. Now come to the merge sort APR, where P is the lower bound and R is the upper bound. Input is a sequence of n numbers sorted in array of in an array A. So I'm repeating again. I have input is a sequence of n numbers sorted in array A, and output would be an ordered sequence of n numbers. Like we are given an array of n numbers, and output would be an ordered sequence like increasing order. Now it says what? If P is less than R, means we have some element in between, like we have some element in the array, then find the Q. Q would be floor P plus R by 2. Now it will called what? See, you can see here, whatever the Q you will get. So see, you have to call it recursively, okay, until the problem becomes an easy problem. So A, P and Q until Q. See, I have, so Q is the middle mark, Q is the middle element. So P to Q, I will call the merge sort again, and from Q plus 1 to R, I am repeating again. Q is the middle element now. So from A to Q, P to Q, so from P to Q, this is the first part, that is P to Q will be the first part, and Q plus 1 to R would be the next part. I have divided, so again I will divide similarly. Since it is a recursive call, we keep on dividing until the problem becomes an easy problem. Once you have divided, I will call this merge algorithm. Merge algorithm needs how many parameters? 4 parameters: A, P lower bound index, Q upper bound index, sorry, Q is the middle index and R is the upper bound. It will merge an array P to Q and Q plus 1 to R. So like half of half, it can merge. Now how the merging algorithm works? What is the input? Array containing sorted subarrays. Suppose I have two sorted subarrays. One is a P to Q and one is A Q plus 1 to R. It will provide a merged sorted array APR. So whatever the two halves you have, suppose this one is a sorted one, that is A P to Q, that is P to Q you have, it is already sorted. So I am solving out for the last level. Whenever you will do the n by 2 merging, rest it would be done in the same way. I am repeating again. I am just trying to demonstrate this algorithm one time for n by 2 element sorted subsequence merging. Rest of the time we will do in the same way. Now it says what? Get n1. What is n1? N1 is the total number of elements in this array, this part. I am repeating again. I have to sort subsequence. These are the sizes. Now n1 returns the total number of elements in this array. That would be Q minus P plus 1. Okay, that would be my n1. Okay. Now n2 would be what? R minus Q. That would be the number of element here. So R minus Q will be the n2. So I have just taken the counts of the element that we have in first array, first sorted sequence and the second sorted sequence. Now what it says, for I equal to 1 to n1, like for in this count, copy all the arrays of, or copy all the content of this array, the first half sorted sequence into L array, that is the left array. Copy into the left array here. Okay, I will copy into the left array. Whatever the element I have, see here, you can see here, P minus I plus 1. So I will just keep copying the entire content of this array into L1, that is the left array, and okay, so what I just basically did in the Li, that is the left array, I copied the content of the first half, that is the first half of the sorted sequence, and in right array I copied the content of second half into right here. You can see in Li I copied the first half and in Rj I copied the second half. Now after this at the last, like at n 1 plus 1, that is the one extra index with the respect of the number of elements I have, I push as the infinity. Okay, I push as infinity, and in R that would have n2 number of elements, that is the second half, plus one more extra index. At that index I will use the infinity. See, then infinity is basically working like a stopping condition, nothing else. Now for I is equal to 1, j is equal to 1, what it does is it will start with a k p2r, and like entire content, like I have a k that is pointing to the original array. I'm repeating again. See, I have copied the content of this array, half array here in L, half array here in R. Then in original array I will start a pointer here as a k, and then it will compare with the content of Li and Rj. Suppose Li is smaller from the, if the content from left array is smaller, I will copy it to the A array, and then I is equal to I plus 1. I will increase, and if Rj is smaller, like whatever the smaller we have from the left or right, I will copy into the AK, and j will increase. So we'll see also with an example directly. What I did here is, if you still remember the algorithm, see these are the two parts. I am repeating again, these are the two parts. So the first half of the array has been copied in the left array. So from here to here I copied the first half. If you still remember the algorithm, you can see here it says first get the sizes of the array, that is n1, n2, and then copy the element. So what I did is I copied the element into left array, and then I copied the second half of into the right array. Okay, so I copied the second content to the right array here. After this, I added infinity. You can see here it says at 7 and 8 it says copy the infinity here. So I copied the infinity at the both index. Now what it says, I is equal to 1, j is equal to 1. So I is pointing to this. So I will maintain the counter of left, R will maintain the counter, sorry, j will maintain the counter of R, and k will maintain the counter of A. So what is the idea here? You can see here, for k p2r, that is entire length of the A array, whatever is smaller from either from left array or right array, you just copy the element and keep increasing the indexes of I. Okay, so wait. So this is the whole case. Now I will start. So currently Li and Rj, Li is like which element? 6, and Rj is what? 1. So which is smaller? 1 is smaller. So from right array 1 will be copied to the original array. The j will increase and the k will increase respectively. Now again it will compare 6 and Li is 6, Rj is 9. So which is smaller? 6 is smaller. So it will copy it from the left array, and I will increase and k will increase. Now again I will compare 8 and 9 from the content of the left, Li and Rj. So Li is 8, Rj is 9. Which is smaller? Content of Li is smaller, that is 8. So it will copy it from a left array to the original array A. I will increase and k will increase. Now again it will compare. Li is 26, Rj is 9. Which is smaller? Rj is smaller. So it will copy it from Rj. Okay, 9 has been copied, and j will increase and k has increased. Now 26 and 42, which is smaller? 26 is smaller. So 26 will go here. I will increase and k will increase. Now 32 and 42, which is smaller? 32 is smaller. So 32 will go here, and k increase, I increase. Now you see, what is the purpose of infinity? The purpose of the infinity is only to make it as a stopping condition. You can see here, once the array has been exhausted, you can copy from the second half just by comparing with the infinity, because infinity is a very large number. So 42 and infinity, which is smaller? 40, because we are looking for the smaller number always. So I put up the infinity at the end. So 42 will be added, and then a j will increase, and 43 will be copied, and k will increase. So this means from the two shorted subsequences you have just merged them to create a larger shorted array. So that is all about the merging algorithm. The complexity of this merging algorithm is order of n, that we have already seen whenever I am doing the time complexity analysis, order of n. So order of n we have, the number of levels are log n, so the complexity, overall complexity of the merge sort would be order of n log n. Now we'll do some analysis again. Running time of merge sort would be computing the middle takes order of 1 time. Middle we can find directly. Now solving two sub problems take 2t n by 2, like half of, and then we have merged them. Merging again will take order of n, that is theta of n. So I have divided into this n into n by 2, n by 2. It is just, this analysis is using, like for every step that we have done, that we have already seen, the number of steps would be log n here, because we did not need the analysis this moment in this particular criteria. So log n levels we have, and every level, so you can see the combined step or the merging needs n time. So overall complexity would be theta or theta, since in worst case, average case, and the best case we have order of n log n, so we can say the theta of n log n base 2 without any problem, the same. Since best case, average case, and the worst case are same, we can consider it as a theta of also. Now we can compare with the algorithms. We have bubble sort, insertion sort, selection sort, merge sort, quick sort, and heap sort. The best cases are, and you can just consider this table for comparing the algorithm that you have. We will discuss and already have discussed in this particular course. Okay, so for merge sort that we have discussed this moment, in the merge sort, either it is the best case, average case, or the worst case, the complexity remains order of n log n, because we have divided into log n levels, and during the combined approach it is n for each level, so n into log n. Okay, so we'll bind up here. Thank you.